Whether driven by consumers or supermarkets, many experts now question whether the unlimited choice of fresh produce is sustainable for much longer.
If you go in a modern supermarket today in the States and you look around at what you can buy, it's difficult to tell what season of the year it is. That's going to change. And I think we're going to begin consuming more locally produced food, and I think our diets will also become more seasonal in nature.
As part of this drive to eat more local produce, some say we all should be growing more of our food ourselves, in back gardens, allotments, and any spare bit of land available. In West Yorkshire in England, 2 women have done just that. They've been planting fruit and vegetables all over their small market town.
We've got herbs at the station. We've got a lovely gooseberry walk down by the Golden Lion pub. We've got apples and pears around a school playing field. We've got Swiss chard outside the old surgery. We've got beans and strawberries growing in boats in every schoolyard. We've got a potato bed down by the station, just about to come up.
Pam Warhurst and Mary Clear started their movement in 2008 and called it Incredible Edible Todmorden, with the aim that the town will grow all of its own vegetables and orchard fruits by 2018.
Within 10 years, we could make Todmorden self-sufficient in food. If we could do that, then we can pass on something to our children.
And then it would be incredible.
And then it would be totally incredible.
We've got big dreams. We've got enormous dreams. I mean, 10 years to make a town self-sufficient.
What we've got is the potential in time to have a town that can look after itself, but also doesn't have to fly its beans halfway across the world. Why should we be eating African children's beans? I just don't get it. Why don't we eat our own beans and leave African beans for Africans? Seems sensible, doesn't it? So in 10 years' time, we think we can do that.
6 food stalls. Well, we could do something at the egg festival, actually. Seriously, we could do something at the egg festival.
But is it true that if we stop eating beans from Africa, Africans would have more to eat? Or is selling food a way out of hunger for developing countries? Kenya is a nation which supplied the world with over $5.5 billion worth of agricultural exports last year. It is still selling its food, despite suffering from a food crisis partly caused by drought. The food shortage in Kenya has got so bad that the government has declared a national disaster and says that a quarter of their population is highly food insecure. Less than a fifth of Kenya's land is suitable for farming, but one of the most fertile areas, even in this time of need, is being used to feed foreigners rather than Kenyans. Michael Cunnington runs a large farm which supplies some of Europe's major supermarkets with vegetables.
We've got baby corn. We also grow chilies. We grow green and red chilies. We grow broccoli. And we grow courgettes, baby courgettes. And these are all for the European market. This is where they come from. 365 days of the year, you can find them on the shelves.
The crops being picked today will be flown out and on European supermarket shelves within 36 hours. The proportion of the price that comes back to Kenya is small. Although the farm gets less than a tenth of the price these beans are sold for in the European supermarkets, the workers here are still on salaries above the average for Kenya.
On our 700 acres, we have 400 to 500 people working for us. They're getting 6 or 7 times what would be an average salary when things are going well. In a normal time, you can double it. Yeah.
These farm workers and their families are the lucky ones. They've got enough to eat, while millions of others go hungry every day. It might seem perverse that so much time and effort goes into feeding Europeans rather than crops for the Kenyan market. But it's not that simple, says Michael Cunnington.
We're creating jobs. We're adding to this country's economy. What else are we going to do in Kenya? You know, at the moment, we don't have industry. You know, the 80% plus of the population is employed in agriculture. So we have to use the resources, whether it's soil, water, the climate, the people, whatever, to produce crops. If we didn't do that, you know, the people will go hungrier than maybe they are at the moment.
The brutal truth is that most Kenyans couldn't afford the food from these commercial farms. And producing food for Europeans here is using up large amounts of Kenya's scarce resources, particularly its water. But if water is in short supply, so is money. The economic benefits of exports are important. Horticulture is Kenya's second biggest export earner.